Boy, do I have a story for you guys today, and it puts two cryptocurrencies face-to-face, organizations against each other, and maybe even some universities battling for the future of Ethereum. There is no denying the problems Ethereum faces today are worth multi-billions, even trillions of dollars. Everyone wants to solve them and enjoy their slice of the ether pie. Well, my army loves warm apple pie. You ready for our Americana? Because it's time for Chico Crypto. So let's begin the story off with cryptocurrency number one, Chainlink. I love me some stanky link. Of course, the meme culture is awesome, but their Oracle solution is the dominant Oracle within the blockchain space, including for Ethereum. A highly important organization to Chainlink is the IC3, the Initiative for Cryptocurrencies and Contracts, which lists them as their number one partner and donor among the other heavyweights, including Ethereum and its foundation. But who is IC3? Well, going to their About Me page, they say about the organization, IC3 is an initiative of faculty members at Carnegie Mellon University, Cornell University, Cornell Tech, EPFL, ETH Zurich, UC Berkeley, University College London, UIUC, and the Technion. It's based at the Jacobs Technion Cornell Institute at Cornell Tech in NYC. It's an academic-based organization home-based at Cornell Tech in New York on the recently developed Roosevelt Island, Cornell University's answer to Silicon Valley. But who is both a leading professor at Cornell Tech and is a co-director of the IC3? Well, that is none other than Ari Juels. What else does Ari do? Let's just watch the Flan Man himself introduce him in October of last year.
I'd like to once again welcome Ari as our chief scientist and to say thank you to him for working with us for these many years and for taking his immense intellect and experience and focusing it now on the set of problems that we're working on.
Yeah, Ari is also the chief scientist for Chainlink Labs, working on some of their Oracle solutions and problems. He was brought on just before this talk with Sergey, and guess what was one of the first materials Jules ran with as a Chainlink employee? He dropped it in September, 1 month before that convo with Sergey. It was this blog and research, Fair Sequencing Services, enabling a provably fair DeFi ecosystem. Now let me tell you, this blog has so much to unpack. First, let's unpack the problem. It's front-running on DEXs and DeFi, and they give a research study which first highlighted the problem. That is Flashboys 2.0, which of course includes Ari Juels. But Flashboys, doesn't that sound similar to something we've been covering lately? Well, here we go. Just look at the Flashboys 2.0 research paper originally dropped in 2019. Number one listed contributor to the paper is Philip Dean of Cornell Tech. Let's just go to the Ether research announcement blog post of Flashbots. They say, Flashbots is stewarded by Scott Bigelow, Phil Dean, Stefan Goslin, Alex Abadia, and Tina Zinn. We exist thanks to the continued support of members of the MEV Pirate Ship and Paradigm. Phil broke away from the teacher. The Padawan broke away from the Jedi? Well, it seems to me that may be the case, as Phil's website still to this day says, I am advised by Ari Juels and based in New York City. Well, maybe this is the reason for this article Ari Juels put out in partnership with CoinDesk over the weekend, titled, Miners Front-Running as a Service is Theft. Specifically calling out Flashbots in the post, saying they systemize exploitation of users, while at the same time referencing the Flashboys 2.0 paper Ari and Phil wrote in collaboration together. Then at the bottom, they kindly note Ari Juels is working on his own approach to fair sequencing at Chainlink Labs. So who do you think responded to this piece by Ari Juels? Not Phil, but Stefan of Flashbots, the ghost step on Twitter. This is the most ethically questionable hit piece I've read in a while. Maybe Ari Juels should do research instead of using the media as a weapon against an open source research organization. Maybe he should consider disclosing conflicts of interest, shaking my head with a retweet of the article. I wonder why Stefan did that. Well, here we go, one level deeper. I already disclosed the conflict of interest with Phil, but now it's time for Stefan's turn, and the ties and connections just keep getting crazier. Remember from my video on Monday, I posted that Stefan had been working on the front running with DEX problem for a while, since late 2018, early 2019 with Submarine. Well, let's just go to its website, libsubmarine.org, still up to this day, defeating front running on Ethereum. It explains just how it does that, but at the bottom, it shows the contributors. They say, Submarine is developed by Lorenz Breidenbach, Tyler Kell, Stefan Gosselin, and Cheyenne Ascandri. It then says Submarine is based on research conducted at IC3 by Lorenz Breidenbach, Phil Diane, Florian Tramer, and Ari Juels. And at the bottom, this Submarine was a part of the IC3. Now let's just pull up the Fair Sequencing Services blog post from Chainlink right alongside this website. As we can see, two names from Submarine are on the Chainlink blog, Ari Juels and Lorenz Breidenbach. From the Flashbots Ether Research blog post, we can see there are two names on there too, Stefan Gosselin and Phil Diane. This goes back in time, back to late 2018, and what it looks like to me is the students learned quicker and expanded on the Jedi's own principles. And now the Jedi is mad, so he put out a misinformed article against them. But Chico Crypto always thinks there is more to this than meets the eye, and this ties right into Flashbots backer, listed in the announcement blog. Paradigm. Yeah, Flashbots is listed in Paradigm's portfolio companies right there. Paradigm is the powerhouse VC who, besides Flashbots, is Uniswap's lead investor and backer, besides the many other crypto and DeFi based companies, led by Coinbase co-founder Fred Ursum and Matt Huang. But how did Paradigm get its start? Well, this 2020 Forbes article showed their initial backers. Of course, the title had two of them, but it said this about the firm. The pitch worked. By October 2018, three of the highest profile endowments, Harvard, Stanford, and Yale, had joined Sequoia in investing in the mysterious new firm, Paradigm, their first major forays into backing a crypto-focused fund.
Wicked smart.
Harvard, Stanford, and Yale's endowments are invested in Paradigm and its portfolio companies. Cornell's endowment is not invested. Cornell stayed out of crypto for the most part what I could see, and this hurt them. Cornell was at the bottom for Ivy League endowment performance for 2020, and as we can see from this blog that covered it, Harvard and Yale were listed as leaders, those that had invested in Paradigm. And again, Chico loves to find the stuff no one else does. One day after the CoinDesk article from Ari Juels, Hayden Adams, founder of Uniswap, Paradigm portfolio company, said this in response to not going to an Ivy League school, and another person saying he could have gone to Cornell. Hayden said, I did apply and get rejected for Cornell. This is actually what would have happened. I might be an Avalanche maxi instead of an Ethereum one. Shots fired, a little side elbow from Hayden. Well, let's just go to this Chain Bulletin blog post from January of this year. Crypto research organization IC3 receives Chainlink research grant to improve Chainlink oracles. They say IC3 is led by a large group of industry experts and academics, including co-directors Ari Juels, the chief scientist of Chainlink Labs, and Emin Gunseir, the founder of the Avalanche protocol. You should know that Uniswap V2 does not use Chainlink oracles, and V3 that is deploying soon, highly touted, is not using them once again. Does this make them mad? Well, Ari Juels of Chainlink is working on FSS, Fair Sequencing Services for Chainlink, which obviously is a precursor from research done with Flashboys. Flashboys and its precursor, Submarine, split. Ari and Lorenz one way, Stefan and Phil the other. Like I mentioned, solving this MEV crisis is a billion, possibly $1 trillion solution, and the battle of the nerds begins. Luckily, I'm invested in it all: Chainlink, Uniswap, and a dash of alchemy. Cheers, I'll see you next time.